1989 Classic, Randy Johnson, an unexpected gem in Emerald City. The summer of 1989 in Seattle brought with it all sorts of baseball hype the city had never seen in its history as a big league destination. No, the Mariners weren't really expecting to win anything, not after a 68-93 last place finish in 1988. But they were expected to unleash some genuine star power on the American League thanks to a 19-year-old. Ken Griffey Jr. had not just the baseball pedigree to make good on that promise, he also rocketed through 3 minor league stops in 2 years since the M's made him the overall #1 pick in the 1987 MLB draft. Jr. was ready, and he was going to turn the Mariners into a contender. The collecting world believed the hype too, and made Griffey's Upper Deck rookie card #1 in their inaugural Upper Deck set and hobby royalty right off the bat. Eventually, Jr. would indeed turn the M's into contenders, but he would need some help. Even die-hard Seattle fans knew that. But what no one could have guessed as the 1989 season rolled out of the gates was that one of Griffey's chief turnaround partners was also a rookie that spring, in the National League East. For the Montreal Expos to be exact, and Montreal was about as far from Seattle as you could get on a Major League map back in those days. Baltimore was even further. After 4 wild but promising minor league seasons, and after a late 1988 debut that featured 4 pretty amazing starts with the Expos, towering left-hander Randy Johnson broke camp with a big league club in 1989. 6 rough starts and 7 appearances, though, left Johnson with an 0-4 record, a 6.67 ERA, and a return trip to AAA Indianapolis. That turned out to be a short jaunt by comparison as to what came next, though. On May 25th, after 2 months of bobbing around 500, the Expos shipped their 25-year-old flamethrower to Seattle for Mark Langston, the ace of the Mariners staff and a Cy Young talent. There were other players involved in this deal too, but it really came down to trading potential future value for immediate help. Langston did his part for the Spos, turning in a 12-9, 2.39 ERA performance that helped him land a big free agent deal with the California Angels that fall. What it didn't do was change Montreal's fortunes, as they finished in the same rut that they were in when Langston arrived, 500, 81-81. In Seattle, well, you have to figure it hurt to lose a big hunk of what little star power the team had built up over the years. You have to figure, too, that the move sent Mariners collectors digging through their baseball cards, trying to catch a glimpse of their new slender lefty. They were lucky, too, because Johnson ran the retail gamut that season, landing rookie cards in base sets of Topps, Fleer, Donruss, Score, and Upper Deck, and O-Pee-Chee for that matter. And while Johnson was working his way into the Seattle rotation to the tune of 7-9, 4.4 over 22 starts, another rookie card emerged. For the 3rd straight year, Classic issued a set of cards to accompany their baseball trivia game, and there at the end of the 100-card base set, at number 95, was Randy Johnson. Wearing an Expos uniform, of course, but it was a card you need to have if you're a Mariners fan, especially within a few years, when Johnson had transformed himself into the big unit. Today, with Johnson's legendary career well behind him, and after his 2015 election to the Hall of Fame, this remains a fairly low-profile rookie card of a player who built just about the highest mound of profile that you can imagine. It's also not a card that comes up for sale too often, but when it does, it's about $20 to buy in PSA 9, edging north of $80 in perfect 10 condition. Interestingly enough, Griffey also appears in the 1989 Classic set, twice in fact, but as part of the 2 50-card travel packs that served as sort of an update for the base set. Maybe that ordering was fitting too, as Johnson won his first Cy Young Award in 1995, 2 years before Griffey won his first and only MVP trophy in 1997. Either way, the Mariners struck gold with their newly forged teammates, who became a classic duo. And as it happened, a classic duo.